What's going on, guys? David Falla here, and today I want to show you how to blend a number 2 into a 1. I noticed that a lot of you guys are having problems with this step. I read the comments and many of you are having problems kind of getting that line out from the number 2 into a 1. So I just want to make sure that we have, we address this topic and we all clear on how to do this. So okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna use a number 1 guard with the lever closed, and we're gonna make us a guide, right? The guide is gonna be, I would say, like ½ an inch. I already kind of erased the first part of the fade, like the skin line, so we're just gonna focus on a 2 and a 1. Now we're gonna make a guide with a number 2 with the lever closed. All right, we're gonna make this guide. This guide is gonna be around like ½ an inch as well. So now we're gonna have 2 guides, right? We're gonna have a guide with number 1, and then we're gonna have a guide with a number 2, right? There's many ways to do this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys how to blend the 2 into a 1 using the 1.5, and I'm gonna show you the other side how to do it without the 1.5, just in case if you don't have it, because I know not everybody has this guide. So right here we have a 1.5, and then we're gonna do with the lever closed. We're gonna first start fitting that line that we see there. Then we're just gonna start, using the C motion or like the scooping motion to kind of avoid creating a second line, right? We don't want to go all the way to number 2. We want to stay right under that, but so we use like a C motion to avoid going all the way up. Now we're gonna go ahead and close that lever, and we're gonna continue hitting that that line. You will start seeing that it's just vanishing little by little. You don't see it as harsh as it was at the beginning. This is a good way of noticing that like it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Also, what you can do is that you can hear the machine cutting, and when it stops cutting, then now it's time for the next step. You can either close your lever or switch guards, right? But you can see right here, I think clearly we can see it that it's starting to erase. Now we're gonna go ahead and use a number 1, but this time we're gonna use it with lever down or open. And then we're gonna continue hitting that line. How you can see the strokes that I use the machine, I'm not going as high anymore. I'm going lower and lower every time I switch guards. So because now I gotta stay under that 1.5 guard that I used before. So that's the reason why you gotta be, the strokes are not as high. That's why it's important to use that C motion movement, because he avoids you to making all the lines. And also it's important to kind of like use the corners of the clipper a little more, just because you have more control. I feel, in my opinion, you have a little bit more control of how to do things, right? So here you can see I'm closing the lever a little bit more, and kind of that's the same step, just repetition of the same step. Just close the lever a little more, a little more, a little more, until we don't see the guide anymore. If when you're done you see a little bit of dark spots, you have many options, many techniques that can help you erase those lines, right? You can use thinning shears, you can use like a clipper over comb technique, you can use regular scissor over comb technique or shear over comb technique, however you want to call it. You can go ahead and put back the cards that you already use and kind of just hit those. There's many ways. So here, what I want to do, I wanted to use a 1/16 just to kind of like fade it really quick so you guys can see the final result, how it is supposed to look once you're done. And I know I said this was not going to be part of the step, but I just just in case you guys have questions, I just want to show you how I did it. So just use a 1.5 first, and then I use a 1. Now I'm using a 1/16, lever open, then close it little by little until it's faded down to the skin, which it was the first guide that I did. I didn't record it because I didn't want the tutorial to become about how to erase the skin line. No, I want it to be how to blend number 2 into a 1. So here I'm using a little bit of thinning shears because I do want to maintain the length that I have there, because my shape, I wanted to have a square shape, but I also wanted to kind of light up a couple of the dark spots, and also I want to like make sure that it blends nicely. So his hair is not easy to blend. It has a lot of spots, a lot of like cowlicks, like small cowlicks everywhere, so it's not the easiest hair to fade. So I think the thin shears kind of help a lot to get those dark spots and kind of get a very even flow with the fade. So anyways, here we're gonna do the other side, right? So in this side, what I'm gonna show you guys is how to make fade without like skipping guards or not using the 1.5. So here I'm making my line with a number 1. I'm making my first guide. Then I'm gonna make the second guide, the same thing I did on the other side, well, with 2 with the lever closed. and then we just after that we're just gonna go ahead and pop the one guard, and then we're just gonna start fading. With this technique, it's very extremely important that you understand what the C motion is and understand that you gotta use a scooping motion to avoid making lines. So in this case, I'm gonna show you, see the back of the blade? That's what we're gonna be using. We're not gonna be using the top of the blade, we're gonna be using the back of the blade. So this is gonna give us a little bit more length, and it's gonna make it a little bit easier to do the C motion, in my opinion. I mean, how I say, like, depends on the barber that you ask. Everybody has different opinions on how to do certain things. This is the way I do them, right? So you can see I'm just kind of scooping out that two guard, you know, and blend it into my one. This step, you know, obviously when you don't have a guard and you're skipping a guard, it's, I mean, I feel like if you have the guards, use them, right? I think it's you know, I think you waste a little bit of time changing guards, but I think once you start cutting, it makes it easier. I mean, some people love skipping guards, nothing wrong with it. You know, if it works for you, it works, and that's great. That's the most important thing. You gotta find a technique that works. But I feel like sometimes you skipping a guard just to make your life quicker, you end up sometimes having to touch up the fade a little bit more, or redo the steps a little bit more. So I think sometimes it makes it actually harder. So here what I'm doing, I'm done pretty much. I'm just using the 1/16 now to fade the one into the lever with the machine open. Pretty much I'm done with it. Like you can see, there's a little bit of darkness, and this is what I'm gonna do with this, is just use the thinning shears to light it up, and pretty much I'll be done. It definitely is quicker when you skip guards, but at the same time you might have to touch it up a little bit more. So at the end of the day, I feel like it just ends up being kind of the same, and you spend pretty much the same amount of time. And that's it, guys. That was the tutorial. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope it was helpful, and it helped you guys how to erase that 2 into a 1, just to be able to create a nicer transition when you guys are fading. That's the final result. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.